People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, I think our model is, in fact, before I get into that, now, yesterday I was reading an article on Sky Sports in regards to, I believe his name is Peter Moore, forgive me if I'm wrong, the new Liverpool CEO or someone in a similar position who's been in that position or just over a year. The important parts of that I just want you to stick with you is that he said comments like, oh, there was word for word, I can't remember it, but there was comments along the lines of, "Oh, Liverpool are back where they belong in terms of Europe's elite." I don't agree with that, but it was nice to hear someone, or if I was a Liverpool fan, someone was speaking like that, actively speaking like we need to return to the pinnacle. It would gas me. And he said something about money is central to that. Again, there's nothing new under the sun, but it stuck with me, and I wanted to do a video like this, but I really thought, yeah. I think the club is banking a lot on our homegrown talents, you know. I would love us to do a Busby Babes in the sense that we win it with all kids and stuff like that. Busby Babes weren't all kids, but you get the point. A couple came through the academy. You've obviously got Ferguson. He did it with Nicky Bart, with Phil and Gary Neville, David Becks, Giggs, a lot of them in it. I do think that's an impossible dream now, but that would be my dream, to have around 5, 6, 7, 8, hell, even 11 first team players have all come from the academy from Hale End, or if they haven't, they've been sourced from all over Europe or the world, developed the Arsenal way, and then progressed. And I think, regardless of its potential and stuff like that, at a top 6 club, it's an impossible dream, purely because as much as I love that, let's just say Jeff and all of these players that have left were still at the club. If as much as I just said I want that, I'm a hypocrite, because would I be prepared, even though we are behind the rest of the top 6 essentially and we're not competing, would I be prepared to accept that, okay, DG, we're going to give you your dream of all these academy players. We're going to let them develop. They're going to be games where they're quite poor and below par, amazing games, but we don't think we're going to be as competitive, and we're going to regress while the others are making progress. If that's what you want to concede, to see that, then by all means. A part of me would still say yes, but a part of me would say no. So I sound like a hypocrite. So I do think it's an impossible job for any of the top 6 or anyone in the Premier League to really sit there and say we're going to put a hat around 5, 6 and throw them in the academy and into the team immediately. There's other development routes. But I do think our club, I've said this before, but I do think our club is betting a lot on these homegrown players. And quite rightly so. Potential is just potential. It's just potential. Like, every player at 15, 16's got potential. It's what you do with it. Potential is the reason you're at Arsenal, Chelsea, City, etc. It's crabs in a bucket, essentially. You're there. But I think we're betting a lot on it because every year, the last 2-3 years, there's been some exceptional talent coming through the academy, and there's going to be, obviously, next year official scholars in Yunus Monsar and Aziz, and I think Malcolm Alobwe, I can't say his name correctly, the Dutch international of Nigerian descent, and he plays for England as well. There's some talented players coming through year after year. Last year you saw Saka, obviously Amici, Emerald Smith, Nelson, etc. I think it's even wishful. I think they all could make it into the first team, but it's even wishful thinking to think they all could. Out of all the names I said, there'll be one that skates off because of first team opportunities or the contracts running up, as we've seen. Some that just don't frankly reach their potential. And yeah, if only one of them can reach their potential, then that's, for any top 6 club, that's great. But I think we're banking a lot on developing these homegrown talents. I actually feel a part of the reason that they've given him the job or he's accepted it is because he's prepared to concede that, yeah, there'll be money to spend. Like the club is rich, but they're not making it available for transfers, and there'll be peace to spend in the sense that you look at Lacazette's outlay, it was decent money. It was like, what, 52 million? Aubameyang might be just over that. Xhaka was 40. There's probably other examples here and there. So there'll be money to spend here and there, but more often than not, that's as the result of moving players on or penny pinching. It's not like a Liverpool where their pockets seem to be empty now. I mean, bottomless. So it's not a thing like that. I mean, there'll be money, but when you look at the homegrown players, I think we're betting a lot on developing a couple of them to reach first team. Look at Maitland-Niles, for example. I think Emery's conceded that there won't be a lot of money. He probably, year after year, every couple of years, he might have to sacrifice a player of sorts, in the sense that Ramsey looks to be going because of the contract, so he can do a thing in other areas. And that might have to happen more. You saw it with Ox, that was the start of it. So I think he's being prepared to work with what he has and work with the academy and obviously try and find these bargains, in the sense that Socrates, when you think, even I said it, I'm happy that he's here, but if I was the manager, you wouldn't be here, because I see how he's improved us now, but he's not a signing, he's not a bad player, but he's not someone you're looking at to galvanize the fans, the players, and the leader. Well, not that he's a leader, but like the gassers in central defense. So we're looking at these deals. He had a year left on his contract, 30 years of age, good experience, good one from the lad people involved. You look at Guendouzi, promising youngster, wanted by a lot of clubs, decent fee to pay for him. Torreira, we actually are paying more for him because we want to pay less in installments. So when you see things like that, I think we're going in a different direction as a football club in terms of spending money. So I do think we should still be competing with the top six for something, but a part of me feels it's an impossible dream as well when you see the finances available to the other clubs, what we're exactly doing. And when you also consider Ozil's contract, whether you believe he should have it or not, the fact is he has it. A lot of a contract that goes under people's noses. Mkhitaryan, he joined in January. He's on big money, and him and Ozil are on big money, and they're the twilight ends of their careers. We need to remember his agent is Mino Raiola, so he worked a thing for him. But yeah, like, I just feel we're getting different. I think there might be money for 1-2 big signings, big signings here and there for Unai Emery or the fans or the club. But more often than not, it's gonna be the under the radar Guendouzi's, the kind of, I don't want to say low profile of Socrates because he isn't low profile, but you wouldn't have thought Arsenal was going to sign him to improve the defence, and I'm happy with him. Like, I just feel we're moving in a different direction as a football club. So part of me feels promising about our club and feels we can do bits, and I'm still gassed and stuff. But part of me also feels realistically, when I remove the romance of the good form we're in and all of these things, how realistic can I be in the sense that we're going to do this thing if we ain't got the money? Because I've said it. You got two ways. You either do them things or scouts do your jobs. Scouts have done a fantastic job in the last summer, but we're not really doing the bits in that. Like, we need to improve it of sorts. So yeah, I love to be wrong, but this just, for me, it just looks like a manager working under serious constrictions, and it looks like a club low-key going through austerity measures, in my opinion. But yeah, it's really on the likes of Mislintat, Unai Emery, Sanye, and the rest to collaborate and see how we can move forward as a football club, essentially. But yeah, man, there's nothing more to add to that, but that's just what I feel. Guys, DG, thank you very much for watching. I'm out.